Hi everyone, this is Josh Kulp. We are learning Daf Ayin Vav of Masechet Gittin. And I wanted to talk about a little short story that appears here, maybe a little bit about the halachic ramifications and some personal reflections as well. The sugya is talking about whether Akko, the city of Akko, is abroad, counts as part of the land of Israel or not. And Akko really seems to be the ancient border of the land of Israel. We talked about that right in the first parak, that Akko counted as Medinat Hayam, as a foreign land. But the Gemara here brings a story on Ayin Vav. Rav Safra said when the rabbis would depart from each other, they would depart in Akko, because it is prohibited to leave Israel, the land, to go to outside the land of Israel. And there's a few things I wanted to reflect upon about this story. First of all, the story kind of contradicts itself. Some of the rabbis are leaving the land of Israel, and some of them are not. And yet the Gemara says that it is prohibited to leave the land of Israel. So obviously, this is not an absolute prohibition. Somebody who is in the land of Israel is not absolutely prohibited from ever leaving Israel. And this sugya, this issue appears in elsewhere. There are sources in Avodah Zarah, there are sources in Ketubot about this overarching prohibition of leaving the land of Israel. But again, it is not absolute. There are things that rabbis always considered as taking justified reasons for leaving the land of Israel, such as to get married, such as to study Torah, and most importantly, if parnasa is necessary. And obviously, we all know Jewish history, and many Jews did not live in the land of Israel for most of Jewish history. And even to this day, there are many people who live in Israel and eventually leave. Some of them are religiously observant, some of them are not. And Israelis travel all the time. So I think that this is like one of those rules that I read as a value rule and not a sort of halachic hard and fast rule that once you're here, you're never able to leave. Of course, there are some people who are very highly cognizant of this and try and refuse to leave the land of Israel unless under dire necessity. But most people don't take it that stringently. And nevertheless, as somebody who's lived in Israel for close to 30 years now, I feel the necessity of that statement. By that, I mean, if everything was always easy living in Israel, then we wouldn't need to say it's prohibited to leave Israel. The whole statement is addressed to people who do want to leave the land of Israel, and the rabbis are saying it's prohibited. Living in Israel it's wonderful. I've been here, as I said, 30 years. It's not always easy. We're certainly going through the most difficult time Israel maybe has ever faced, but certainly has faced in a long time. And economically, Israel is not the easiest place to live, as any Israeli can tell you. But there is still something, I think, very valuable about maintaining one's residence here in Israel. I'm not going to go into all of my personal feelings. I don't usually do that in these videos. But it is a prohibition that, even if it's not always observed, I think is an important part of Judaism. So there you have it.